This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network. Mitch Moss along with Paulie Howard. We are live in downtown Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Happy Wednesday. 3-hour banger lined up. Jeff Seeley, Best Bets, Waste Management coming up in 30 minutes. The great Sal Palantonio, his official Super Bowl prediction coming up in an hour. Mike Paulman studio from right here at Circa on the Super Bowl, their side, their perspective, and also what he likes, and Matt Humans a little bit later on with some bets for tonight and this week, Paulie. So much to get into here on this 3-hour program that we have. It's been a very busy deadline week in the NBA, and right now, prediction markets, those sports books that are still offering Giannis odds, the Bucks have turned into the odds-on favorite now, and like Kalshi, for example, they're 58%. I believe, and now you have Brian Windhorst coming out and saying that it looks more and more like Giannis is going to be on the Bucks post-deadline. There are only two bets to make, in my opinion, and betting on him to remain with the Bucks is probably a little bit too late because now it's odds-on. But I still think that's going to happen. The only other team I can see making the last-minute deal for him before the deadline would be Golden State, and here is why I think. Now, this is narrative speaking. Y'all probably know already that Golden State's offer can't get better in the offseason. Pretty much every other team, their offer can. So the Bucks need to be patient. And then you factor in with what happened today and tie that into the Mavericks trading Anthony Davis to the Wizards. And the return, the Bucks, I'm sorry, you have to look at what the Mavs now got in return, the updated return for Luka Doncic. And it's the following. Max Christie, Chris Middleton, A.J. Johnson, Malachi Branham, Marvin Bagley, an OKC 2026 first-round pick, the Lakers first-round pick in 2029, Golden State 2030 first-round pick, which is protected, and 3 future first-round picks. The first comment underneath this on X says Nico Harrison should be charged with war crimes for what he did to the franchise. The Bucks can't settle for a trade like that. They can't.
They got 29 games. Boy, you're really taking this hard. You are a Milwaukee fanboy.
Well, because this guy, this Horst GM has been abysmal. And he, again, this is like Aaron Rodgers. Same two, right in the same state. They destroyed both players' prime.
He is a top 7 paid player in the league. He didn't have much of a market. It was hard to move him. Worst trade in NBA history. And you got 29 games out of him. And now you acquire Middleton. Who also could be dealt? Are they going to trade Klay Thompson? Are they going to trade Gafford? They are lucky they got Cooper Flagg. So they're trying to build around him, and he has been awesome the last couple of games. Mm-hmm. A way to attack this is continue to bet his points prop over. As he's been so good, he's also taken a lot of shots. I still think there's value taking him to remain at Milwaukee. Like Matt Moore said yesterday, it's going to be difficult to make a trade, not to mention the smart thing to do is also take all these offers in and then use it in the summer and say, hey, you offered this way back then, and you offered this in the middle of February. Now this team has more picks, and this team has more picks. Now what are you going to offer? And it also allows you to tank and you don't play them. But and Mark Stein said this, and Brian Windhorst said this. They don't understand the steam, and everyone they talked to, not one person mentioned Bulls. Yet the Bulls went from 45 to 4-1. Now they're back out to 6 at DraftKings and other spots, and there was a big move on Kalshi. So I don't know where that came from, if that was just one big bet and they overreacted or what it is. But 2 great NBA insiders have said no one, not one person from any of these teams, ever said, watch out for the Bulls and they could make a move here. So I think he stays put. It's been an incredible deadline already. Who knows what the Wizards are doing. But the other fascinating thing here, and we can take advantage of this too, is to all these teams that are tanking and have to lose, although they acquired players. How many different ways can you lie and say this guy is out for some ridiculous reason when you've already used some of those reasons and you're going to look at some big fines? Like Utah's a good team now, but Markkanen's already missed 7 games because he was sick. I mean, yeah, are you going to be able to get away with this with 2 months left?
No, it's going to be a fake oblique injury. It'll be something, the ankles are really sore, the knee is really popping up again. But they're going to have to find a way, multiple teams. Like, I totally agree. Like, I think Utah, Again, they have to tank this year. They won last night, and the kid had 22 assists for them. I mean, it's like, so they have a lot of young talent, but to me, if they don't tank, their pick is top 8 protected, would go to Oklahoma City. Like, you have to do whatever you can to make sure that these players are not on the court.
I know.
To win as few games as possible.
But the 3 teams ahead of them also are tanking big time too. Like, how many games are the Bucks going to win? How many games are the Mavs going to win? It's going to be hard to hold them off because they're going to do the same thing you're doing.
That's right.
So a team up there can catch you and you can fall back, right? Look at the Clippers situation now. I mean, OKC, the big winners in this Harden trade, maybe a little bit, Cleveland. But the Thunder, because they have the Clippers pick. And now the Clippers are 65-1 to win the division, and they're only $1.10 to make the playoffs after this trade.
Yeah, and I said, what was it, on Monday's show, during this before any of this stuff came out about James Harden, I think it was in Do You Concur? I said the Clippers are going to do this, aren't they? Meaning they're going to come back and win the division. They were down to like 11-1.
Yeah.
And they were super hot.
17-4 run.
Yeah.
Right, and then it blows up.
Totally. You go back and look since, I think, 2021, it's basically every year or every other year James Harden has been a story at the deadline and moved on to a new team. What does that say about him overall?
Yeah, he's a mercenary, and he's all about himself and a businessman. He was so concerned. So apparently he went to the Clippers, or his agent, and said, hey, what about this extension? Am I going to get a longer deal? I'm 36 years old, and they didn't like the answer. So then he walks in and says, I want out, and this 17-4 run now is over, and I got to get mine. And when will we see this again? A 36-year-old was traded for a 26-year-old. Then the Clippers say, well, I've seen you in action before, where you mope and don't try. When you don't get your way, we have no choice. We'll have to ship you out. And they play each other tonight.
I know. I really want to buy into the Cavs futures this year. I can't do it because of him. I mean, the track record speaks for itself. And maybe they
cannot be the third choice to win the NBA title. I agree.
Yeah. Maybe at the, come late May, we're like, hey, they did it. And it works for them. And that would be awesome for the fan base. And, it's been a long time since LeBron left them and came back and then left again. It'd be a great feeling. And as Rizzo said the other day on our show, Donovan Mitchell's the second best player in organizational history. I mean, so it'd be awesome for him as well. But I can't bet him. I can't do it. Also, you said you don't know what the Wizards are doing. Don't you like them moving forward? At least now they have some sort of a game plan. And I think next year in the East, although guys are going to be coming back, again, this is 2026, 2027. I think at least the starting 5 for the Wizards, again, this is the biggest if ever, but if Anthony Davis can stay healthy, not bad. And I don't buy into Trae Young at all, but with that starting 5, it's okay. Yeah.
And they're going to get a nice pick. But it goes back to how I love the guy, but he's always hurt. So, I mean, Shaq and Barkley give him the nickname Street Clothes for nothing, for a reason. So, but at least they're going to try, I'll say that. But it goes back to, well, we're not going to try now. But then once after the draft, talk to us, so we're going to be all in the next upcoming season. How bizarre this is with several teams.
Yep.
And with the Clippers, it's, is something going to come down the pike with Kawhi? With a suspension or draft picks, or what are they going to do to sanction the team with aspiration and what happened to go around with the cap stuff? Who knows? Maybe that's tinfoil hat guy, but certainly this is a disaster how they were playing so well, and now he just blows up the season because you don't know with Garland, who's 26 years old, but he's got both toes banged up, and he's always hurt too.
Yep.
But here's a guy, say what you want about him, he's averaging 25-8, 26-8 this year. He's having a great year.
Agreed. So it is a big card tonight in the NBA. Man, and I spent, last night looking at the schedule, a lot of time this morning, and at the end of it, I'm like, do I even make any bets today? I don't know how many more. I mean, this has been such an active trading deadline week that you can make the case here for a bunch of stuff tonight, but it's like that could get blown up in the next half an hour if there's another deal that comes down. Mm-hmm. And you didn't see that one coming. Like a lot of this stuff, nobody saw coming. Nobody had the Harden stuff until late Monday night, early Tuesday morning. I do like this in terms of futures. The Hornets are absolutely going for it today.
Yeah, that was a good trade. They got Kobe White.
Yep. They did. Sexton's okay. He's a nice player off the bench. But Kobe White's having a really nice year for Chicago. Bulls aren't going anywhere this year. And Charlotte's buying in. There was talk recently of that team wanting to dangle Bridges out there. That's now subsided. Like they want to make a run, maybe I think for the division, for the playoffs, obviously. And those numbers are now down big time. They're odds on to be a play-in team, and they're almost going to. They're very close to being odds on to make the playoffs now in the Eastern Conference.
We got an 11-point move in the Spurs game. Incredible, right?
How about that news on top of everything else?
SGA out through the All-Star break. Reevaluated, and some people are speculating like in a month. Well, I would say tonight, 2 games, 2 ways to attack it. Number one, if Minnesota can't land Giannis, this is a bizarre trade deadline that they had. As I said yesterday on the air, I kept reading the story and looking for what did Minnesota get in the trade? Nothing. $1. They gave up. They got money. So you just have an owner who comes in and pays billions of dollars for a new team, and then they're just going to try to save them money? That's not going to go over well in the locker room, and you saw how bad they played last time out. Mm-hmm. So if you trade a good veteran presence and leader just to help out the owner, that reeks in the locker room. And they were bad last time out. They're a small road favorite in Toronto. I would keep an eye on that, and I would keep an eye again on the Clippers because we didn't know, but some people knew, and members of the Clippers knew what was going on with Harden, and they went out and got blasted by the Sixers in their last game. So they played like they know their season's over, and they're not going anywhere. Mm-hmm. And even if they sneak in, what's their prize? They would get the Thunder in the first round? So I think watch out for some losses with the Clippers, and I would say a more energized and giddy Cleveland team tonight in the matchup. Yeah, I will try, again, cautiously here moving forward, try to make a case a little bit later on in the pro for a couple of player props tonight. Super Bowl numbers coming up next. I found a cross-sport parlay that is definitely worth discussing. It involves Scotty Scheffler at the Waste Management this week.
Laptop or phone, couch or sportsbook, VSiN goes where you go. Wherever you watch VSiN, the experience stays seamless. Live shows, replays, and sports-specific clips all at your fingertips. VSiN Watch puts you in the driver's seat. Available in Roku, Samsung, Amazon, iOS, Android, app stores, or get it direct from the source at VSiN.com. Download VSiN Watch today on your favorite app store and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, a network of sports betting analysts, writers, hosts, and handicappers, all here to help you become a more confident bettor. We broadcast live every day from Las Vegas, the sports betting capital of the world, and from studios across the country, giving you insight from every angle of the action. Take VSiN with you wherever you go with the VSiN Watch app, or catch us on streaming platforms and regional sports networks. You can also listen live on SiriusXM Channel 158 and on radio stations nationwide. Check out VSiN.com as well for betting tools, exclusive betting splits, AI-powered player prop projections from Opta, pro picks for every game, plus in-depth betting guides and articles built to give you an edge. From sharp betting analysis and daily best bets to insider interviews and expert breakdowns, VSiN is your trusted source for everything happening in the world of sports betting. See everything we have to offer at VSiN.com and become part of the Sports Betting Network.
Hey everybody, Stormy Von and Tony here, host of Money Moves with Jonathan Von Tobel. Coming up Thursday on the show, JVT is on Media Row in San Francisco ahead of Super Bowl 60. We'll have interviews and best bets on location. Plus, RotoWire's Jeff Erickson's back in his usual Thursday spot with his top props for Sunday. It's a busy day with updates from the WM Phoenix Open. Of course, it's NBA trade deadline day. Will any more big names be on the move? It all starts at 11 Pacific, 2 Eastern, right here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Best bets with analysis on the waste management for this week. Next stop, PGA Tour coming up in 15 with Jeff Seeley. I found a cross-sport parlay that it was very intriguing to me, and it jumped off the page like I have to make a bet on this.
How much new stuff are you seeing now that we're only a couple days away from the game?
Well, I mean, I think I avoided some of the cross-sport stuff until today.
Okay.
So I think it was probably up there, but I just noticed it now.
I only saw one addition in the last couple days, or found something interesting. Caesars added, will there be a hook and ladder? 15-1.
Yeah, Bills did that 3 times this year.
That's right. And so it's interesting how it's graded. Well, there'll be reception and then a lateral on the same play. But that's creative, and that was added the other day at Caesars.
Sure. It seems like that play is always there, even when the team, in the most obvious situations where it could be utilized or used or attempted, it seems like teams are able to pull it off because the other team just doesn't see it coming. So this is at Boomers here in Las Vegas and the state of Nevada. And as people have said this week, like the Westgate, they were the first book ever to put out the cross-sport parlays, and then they would get copied from everybody else. So I'm assuming that it's available at more than one book, but it's what's going to be more. Scotty Scheffler 4th round birdies at the Waste Management, which is a pick'em, even money, or total touchdowns in the game. That's minus 130. The total touchdowns in the game is over 4.5, about minus 170. So the game is favored to have at least 5 touchdowns. But all week we're, talking to people. They like the under. We like the under. I think there's a world that we live in, Paulie, where we have 3 or 4 touchdowns scored in the game. Don't you agree?
Yeah. Easy course, yes.
Right.
He could really do some damage with the birdies.
So Scotty's 4th round scores at the Waste Management over the years. +1, but then 5 under, 6 under, 4 under, 1 under last year. He averaged 8 birdies per round in the tournament he won a couple of weeks back, including 66 on Sunday. Last year at the Waste Management, which was on Sunday, obviously, he had 4 birdies, 3 bogeys. Now, obviously, Eagles don't count, Albatross don't count. It's specifically worded as birdies. In 2024, he had 7 birdies on Sunday. In 2023, he had 4 birdies and 1 eagle. In 2022, he had 8 birdies in the final round. In 2021, he had 4 birdies in the final round. So last year, I think, was kind of the fluke or the aberration, and he still had 4 birdies, and he did not have a good round overall, or a good weekend, I should say. He finished at 9 under, which was not close to winning the tournament. The other 4 years at the Waste Management, from 2021 to 2024, Scotty Scheffler finished 16, 16, 19, and 18 under. So, again, he's capable of shooting, every year, it's a minimum of 4 under on the final round. The peak is 7 or 8 under. If he can get to 5 or 6 under the final round, again, 5 or 6 birdies, let me rephrase, that means that in this Super Bowl, you have to have 6 or 7 touchdowns to beat that, and you're getting pick'em. The only problem is, as of right now, it's going to be a little windy on Sunday in Scottsdale. So we'll talk to Seeley about that coming up and see if we're on that by him, what he thinks of that prop overall. But he's been awesome in this tournament. Again, 4 out of the last 5 years, and basically in every round, but specifically the 4th round. And those birdies have been dropping like crazy for him. I don't know, that to me screams, and I haven't bet it yet, again, but it was screaming earlier today. I need to get on board with Scotty there at Pick'em.
Okay, very good.
What else have you noticed overall?
Well, this is getting a lot of attention, too. Cooper Kupp hinting at a trick pass in the Super Bowl on social media. So that has moved in some places, and that generated some buzz, and why not? Which is a prop that cashes a lot in the Super Bowl, and we think there'll be a trick play, and it's a good plus price. Over 2.5 players to attempt to pass, so maybe that happens. That he put that up there on Instagram with him throwing the ball. Interesting that he did that out of all the things to put up on Instagram, but it's one of him throwing a pass.
So how about this? I'm driving around last night, going home, listening to Primetime with Humans and Murray. They had Jeff Sherman on over at the Westgate, and they asked him about bets that are seeing some sharp money, and Sherman responded by saying, Yeah, just today, in fact, we took, the number was either 20 or 30,000 on that prop.
Wow.
And humans knew the better. And he named him on the air.
Uh-huh.
It's former Circus Survivor co-winner Chris Piper.
Really?
He bombed it like 7-8 times, max bet like every single time.
Is that right?
Yeah, because of what Cup said.
Oh, that's good.
He loves the prop.
Wow.
So he was doing a lot of damage over there yesterday, and if that comes through, it'll be a nice day for him, I'm guessing.
Okay.
This is from Dave Tooley. Guess which side of the game Dave Tooley likes here at VSiN?
Dog or pass?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Patriots plus 4.5. But he also likes that bet. He got plus 170, a number of different players to throw a pass on over 2.5.
Okay.
He bet, will there be a 2-point conversion attempt? Plus 140. I like this one. Any other score for the first score is plus 130 in that neighborhood. You get the field goal and you get the safety there. If we think it's going to be defensive-minded and McDonald doesn't really go for it on fourth down. In fact, that was a great nugget by Frank B yesterday, shopping around and betting certain prices on the Seahawks not to convert a fourth down attempt. They like to kick field goals or punt the ball away and rely on the defense. Okay, how about we get a field goal first? But also, and I know that Tooley's hit on this before.
Well, why does he play this every year? He bets this every year. Halftime tie with both teams to win the game.
Because he's hit it before.
Well, okay, but it...
And if he's expecting a very close game here. Now, he also made the case last year because the point spread was so small and that never came close. But the halftime tie with the Seahawks to win the game is 12-1. The halftime tie with the Patriots to win is 18-1. He also likes to bet, will the game be tied again after 0-0? And he's a big dog better, so he just thinks they're going to be live, and he thinks it's going to be back and forth and close the entire way.
Mm-hmm. This is also out of control, by the way, too. So the fact that it's a 4.5-point spread, and when you ask everyone for a prediction, it's an avalanche of Patriots. Seattle.
Seahawks, yeah.
And not many people picking the Patriots when the spread is this close. So we know about the easy schedule, and they know they're only averaging 18 a game in the playoffs. But this is just, it just doesn't feel right that everyone, Seattle's going to win it, and maybe it's going to be comfortable.
Yep.
That in a spread with 4.5 points, every person at The Athletic, every person but 7 at VSiN, and every person but a couple at ESPN.
Yeah, it's updated now. 47 out of 57 ESPN picked the Seahawks.
Uh-huh. But 2 of them were players, though.
Yeah, right.
It was Brewski and somebody else. I think it was McCourty.
Yeah.
I mean, what do they? Of course they're going to pick the Patriots.
30 out of 34 NFL Network personalities evidently picking the Seahawks. So this game's just going to be a bloodbath then? Everybody's going to be right? How many people picked the Eagles in a blowout last year? Some did. JVT did.
A couple, yeah.
I mean, but it wasn't...
Josh McDaniels, other guys, yeah. The whole Patriots coaching staff did.
Yeah. It wasn't like an overwhelming sentiment, though, that like this. Everybody just assumes, and again, sportsbooks were reporting, I think it was on Sunday night going into this week and Monday morning, that their most popular bets, at some books anyway, Seahawks alt numbers all the way up to like 13.5, 14.5.
Mm-hmm.
It just, that, again, there's absolutely a path for that to happen, but that just seems so easy at this point. And it also, that was my takeaway from the title games, when it looked like the JV versus the varsity when you watch both games. Like, it doesn't matter who was going to win the NFC game, they were going to kill the winner of the AFC game. That was the immediate reaction, and people are just sticking with that now a week and a half later. I don't know. Maybe it is that convenient. Maybe it's Niners over Chargers from 30 years ago all over again.
I just think it's going to be hard for New England to move the ball on them. But the other thing is how they're going to attack it. You know, and who gets most of the carries, and what does Henderson do, and what do they do through the air?
Oh, boy.
And it's also, what does May look like out there? He says he's fine and good to go, but it'll be interesting to see if they have any success moving the ball on offense based on how nasty this defense has been, unless they're playing the Rams, how well they played. So you're also talking about a team, which I know it's been bad weather, but he's fumbled 6 times in the playoffs, and they've averaged 18 a game in the playoffs, as I said, after averaging 28 in the regular season. And then it's McDonald with time to prep, too.
There was a great video breakdown on social media from Savage Sports, and the reason why Travion Henderson is not getting on the field. Did you see this video?
No.
He is leaving so many yards on the field. He's not able to judge and read the blocks and then decide where he actually should go and where the lanes are going to be at for him. And I think when you see this breakdown overall. In fact, I'll retweet it right now at Mitch Moss Radio if you want to check it out. It's alarming. It really is.
Well, the original thing was he trusts Stevenson in pass protection more.
That's
what kept him off the field, too.
There's an example of that in this video breakdown of Henderson completely missing his assignment.
Well, if you're having problems moving the ball, though, and you have a home run hitter, I would think you got to put him in there and give him some touches, though, especially throw it to him a couple times, too. You never know. Because look at his game log before to end the season. And then once we got in the playoffs, he was producing out there.
All right, the Waste Management begins tomorrow. Scottsdale. Jeff Seeley's going to join the show to discuss. I will bring up that prop to him. And what do we do when Scotty is around 2-1 to win this thing outright? That's coming up next here on VSiN.
Time. There's nothing more valuable. It's what drives everyone to make the most of every moment. We celebrate living large in the now. In a city where time disappears, we create experiences that electrify the soul and memories that will last forever. We go big, we go all night, and here, everyone is invited. So get loose and get loud.
This is Circa. You'll have the time of your life.
Elevate your sports betting game with VSiN's exclusive betting splits. Stay ahead with real-time market trends and track bet percentages on any matchup. Then uncover the edge by comparing them to the amount of bets placed to find out where the sharp money is headed. Upgrade to VSiN Pro to access betting splits, live odds, line moves, power ratings, and in-depth game analysis. Go to vsin.com/pro to join VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Get some best bets with analysis here. Waste Management begins tomorrow. Always a very fun tournament. 16, of course, super rowdy. Jeff Seeley joins the program now on X at Cupmaker Jeff. Cupmaker Pod's been recorded, going to be out later on this afternoon. What are you chuckling about, Paulie?
That's super rowdy. Yeah,
that's
right? One way to say it.
They lose it. Jeff was there a couple years ago.
Oh, man.
And he's on the Progressive Guest Line. Hey, pal, we were just talking about this previous segment, this cross-sport parlay cross-sport prop that I found. And it's Scotty Scheffler total birdies final round on Sunday, pick'em versus total touchdown scored in the Super Bowl, which is minus 130. Your thoughts on that prop?
Yeah, no, I mean, guys, given the weather, I think that Scotty for sure at a pick'em is the play there, right? There's supposed to be rougher weather early on Thursday, kind of windy early on Thursday. So I'm going to be looking at the second half of the afternoon, guys, for some first round leader plays. But other than that, the weather looks fine. So, I mean, look, I think Scotty's floor Sunday is probably 5 birdies, maybe 4 at the worst. And, with the upside of 6 or 7, maybe even 8. What do you have? He had, I think, 8 a couple of years ago. So, I love Scotty in that. So, like we said off air, I think I feel like they're going to have to be 6 touchdowns to beat you in that. And that's especially at that, even money. That's a bet I'll take all day long on the Scotty side.
What are you thinking because of the weather, what that means for your handicapping and also early on?
Yeah, again, guys, I mean, I think normally you don't spend a ton of time looking at tee times, unless you know the weather is going to be a factor. And again, we know there's going to be some early wind this week, so it's factored in. Now, that said, is it going to be, a massive change in my decisions? No. All right. But it is going to impact my first round leader plays a little bit.
Okay. Can you tell us a couple of those then?
Yeah. So, guys, I mean, obviously, I'll just looking at the top of the board. I mean, my favorite play of the guys at the top of the board is easily Cameron Young. I mean, I think when you look at this guy, he mashes it off the tee, gained an average of 2 strokes off the tee over his last 8 events. Putter's been white hot here the last 2 years. He's gained an average of 6 strokes putting over his last 2 visits. So those 2 factors alone, I think, make him a elite play this week. I actually think he should be priced better than Xander. And I looked at the matchup. You can find him at even money or even plus money against Xander. I think that is a terrific play. I mean, I think he's the number 2 play in the field, and he's got a late tee time. He's got a 2:44 tee time. So, I mean, if you had a gun in my head and said, who's your favorite pick for first-round leader, probably Cam Young, to be totally honest. I bet him, 3/4 of a unit in the winner without. Everything I bet this week, I bet the winner without. I think Scotty very clearly is, for a good reason, the favorite to win. But I like Cam Young a lot, top 10 at plus 205 as well.
Okay.
And then one other guy, sorry, that's not rocket science, guys, but one other guy near the top of the board, Maverick McNeely. I think he's probably the most tipped guy there is this week, but another good first-round leader play. He tees off after 3 p.m., and, again, a guy you can play in the afternoon. He's 25-1, the winner without market. Great form, coming in with T24 at the Sony, top 10 finish last week at Torrey Pines, gained across the board in every single category the last 2 weeks, no holes in his game. Add that to the fact that he has back-to-back top 10 finishes here, maybe the easiest clip to pick this week. I played him, 1 unit at top 20. I played him top 10. I played him, half a unit as well, and the winner without at 25-1. I also bet him in a matchup against Victor Hovland. Absolutely love Maverick McNeely this week.
All right, so all the bets, again, to specify this here, all the bets that you're going to talk about on this show right here come down to the winner without, and that for the outrights, because you just don't want to get in front of Scotty Scheffler this week.
That's exactly right.
Okay,
that's exactly right. Yeah, for sure.
Let's go mid-tier then, 47-1. Make your case for Kurt Kitayama.
Yeah, so Kurt Kitayama has been a top 10 ball striker over the last 9 months on tour, evidenced by the fact that he's gained both off the tee and on approach in 12 of his last 13 events. Just remarkable ball striking. His issue's been his short game is average and his putting's below average. The hope is that he can putt like he did here in 2023 and 2024 when he gained an average of 4 strokes with the putter. If he compared those putting results with the ball striking we've seen the past 9 months, he's going to be in the conversation on Sunday. I didn't ladder him like I did some other guys, but I did play him top 30, and then I played a little bit on the outright winner without as well. So really like Kurt Kitayama.
Okay, Nick Taylor has a really good history here, specifically in the first round. So what is the breakdown on him for this week?
Yeah, I love Nick Taylor at 59-1, the winner without, but his early tee time has him off me for a first-round leader, which means he'll probably get there. But I'm not going to play him first-round leader with the wind. That said, his results here speak for themselves. T25 last year, winner in 24, second place in 23. He is the best putter in this field on these greens. Gained an average of 6 strokes putting over his last 3 trips. Easily the best putter in the field on these greens. His irons were really bad last week, but looked good 2 events prior to that. If he can dial them back in the way they were at Sony and putt like he has the last 3 trips, Nick Taylor is going to be very live to win. I did ladder him top 30, top 20, and in on the outright as well. Really like Nick Taylor.
Okay. How about a couple bombs, my friend?
Yeah, so Andrew Novak, man, 3 top 10s in his last 7 events. Finished T10 in this event 2 years ago. Had a top 10 last week at Torrey Pines where he gained 7 strokes on approach. When his irons are dialed in, Andrew Novak, he's 76-1 in the winner without market. He can be in the hunt in any tournament. I laddered him top 40 all the way up to a small bet on the outright at 76-1. And guys, what if I told you there was a guy in the field this week who was 400-1 in the winner without market? He has 3 straight top 25 finishes at this event. He won on the PGA Tour in his last 6 months, and he finished inside the top 15 at Torrey Pines last week. Over the last 3 years, he ranks 7th in this event in birdie or better percentage and 15th in bogey avoidance. And again, he is 400-1 on DraftKings in the winner without market. And I think what would be more amazing if he can get some of the Hoosier karma, because he's the only current Indiana resident to be playing in the field this week, and that's Adam Schenk, the pride of Vincennes, Indiana. I played him top 40 at plus 265, top 30 at plus 475, top 20 at plus 820, and then a little on the outright at 400-1 without Scotty Scheffler. Adam Schenk is a phenomenal play this week. Really excited about him and hope that the fellow Hoosier can come through here.
Very good. Love the breakdown as always. You can follow him on X at Cupmaker Jeff. And the Cupmaker podcast is coming out later on this afternoon. He joined us here in the Progressive Guest Line. Who do you have on Sunday in the big game?
I'm on Seattle, but I've parlayed him to a bunch of other things in Seattle money line. But I'm on Seattle money line. That's where I think the play is for me.
All right, buddy. Good luck this week. Okay.
Thanks, fellas. Take care.
No Koepka.
No Koepka
again.
Jeff Seeley.
All right.
Last week on the card, he was on Aubert. That was a loser. Matsuyama and McNeely, top 20s at plus money. They were both winners. Højgaard almost got top 20, but lost. Higo and Valimaki lost on as well on the card last week for the top 20 in the placement spots for him. I love it. And by the way, a couple years ago, it was before the Bengals-Rams game. We had a playoff, and Scotty won it, but it led into the game. Do you remember that?
Okay, yeah.
It was a great finish to that tournament. And again, people are going hog wild on 18. We're like, tick-tock, boys. The Super Bowl starting here in like 20 minutes, and it ran into each other.
Celtics and Knicks Sunday, too. Pretty good NBA schedule. So good schedule before the Super Bowl on Sunday. Not a bad job. Anthony Davis, Jaden Hardy, D'Angelo Russell, and Exum for Middleton, Bagley, and a plethora of picks. Just stunning. And 29 games he played in a Dallas Mavericks uniform. The trade about a year ago.
I don't think we can ever top that one.
No. A young superstar, top 5 player in the league, for a guy who's always hurt and got hurt twice in his short tenure, and only played 29 games and then shipped off.
If you wanted
not much interest in the market for him either.
Paul, if you wanted to twist my arm and say the league sent Flag to Dallas as a favor, I'd buy into it.
Oh, no kidding. I mean, where would they be at? They got so lucky with that.
No doubt.
And plus, he's been so good in the last couple of games, and now they're just going to build around him. We're headed into Big Game 60, your last chance to lock in the lowest price we've ever offered on a VSiN Pro annual subscription. Save $60 off the regular annual price. Use code FTM. Every best bet, every host, every guest, the prop analyzer, the DK and Circa betting splits, the prop tools, 24/7 video and full show replays, Super Bowl betting guide, Mackinnon, daily trends. Also the March Madness betting guide as well. VSiN.com/subscribe, code FTM. VSiN.com/subscribe, code FTM.
Win, lose next. Some line moves were correct, some were not, as always. And Cooper Flagg's ladder kept climbing last night. Details on that coming up next.
Sunday, Big Game 60 takes over, and VSiN's got every angle covered. Start with VSiN's Pro Football Tailgate Show at 9 a.m. Eastern. Then roll into a numbers game, prop points, and money moves leading up to kickoff. At 6 p.m., it's Big Game Betting live from Vegas, tracking props and delivering sharp live betting insight as the game unfolds. Then at 10, we're cashing out, grading bets, and breaking down the big game. Check out VSiN.com for all the action and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
Check out Stormy and JVT on Money Moves, only on VSiN.
And maybe that's why they wouldn't, because they're the Giants and they don't do things that make sense.
Out of all these divisions, this is the one that I am the most curious about because I do think there are positive signs for the Bears.
They'll take you on a fun, fast-paced journey, weaving in everything you need to know to make an educated bet, while also not shying away from the excitement of a same-game parlay sweat. Money Moves, weekdays at 2 p.m. Eastern on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Win Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays.
Were you a winner last night?
Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser! Paulie Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
A good one in Detroit. Another nice win for the Pistons. They bet the total up from 224 up to 229.5, 124, 121. The Jazz plus 4.5 to -2. Rock and roll, they won. That's the thing. I mean, these bad teams are playing each other. Someone's got to win.
True.
That's why it makes this tanking so interesting. The last 2 months, Thunder from 6 up to 11.5. No problem there. Southern Illinois plus 280 outright. UNLV Fresno over 148 up to 153. 98-96. More on that coming up. Every game but one went over in the NHL. Subscribe, be part of the team, VSiN.com. Our radio and podcast friends, you always want to see these tweets and videos. At Paulie Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in, we'll put you on. The theme today is snow. And, how are they not extinct? How these pandas survive. Here they are. He's coming down backwards, going down the slide in the snow. He's like a kid out there. And again, they go through life like they're high or got a six-pack in them. What a time to be alive and what a time to be a panda. Great. Bowl over his head, coming down with the snow.
Head first, feet first, doesn't matter.
No, they really act like they're drunk the whole time. Like kids, and they're just absolutely crazy how they behave the whole time.
No, you're spot on. So Sebastian is going to be 2 in April, and he has recently discovered going down slides on his own.
Yeah.
Can't get enough of it. He'll go up the slide 30 times in a row and come right down.
That's great.
It's exactly what he looks like right here.
That is good. How about another one? How about the dog? The dog falls into the snow. Look at that going down. Great. Comes out right. Just disappears, right? We got so much snow, especially in the eastern part of the country, and they got 32 inches in New York in some spots. This guy goes out to use the bathroom, and he just falls right in and disappears. After they had a blizzard. You can't even find. Yeah, right. Peekaboo, there he is. Gone. Forget it.
How'd they even open up the door?
Yeah, right. With horrible weather, and I love that when in some spots where it's so cold, they do the U-turn. I got to use the. Oh no, I'm not going.
Oh yeah, no way.
Forget
Are you kidding me?
I'm going to hold it. I'm not going to go. Forget about it. Warriors lose some 1.5 up to 5. Bucks Bulls under 226 down to 222. Yes, Milwaukee finally won a game, but Chicago with a skeleton crew out there. Duke, Boston College over 133 up to 140. Also no good. 2 vicious beats. Surreal piece of theater last night in the Mountain West. UNLV played Fresno. 3-hour game. 80 free throws, 62 fouls, 7 players fouled out, 6 technicals. 4 times they reviewed it and didn't upgrade it to a flagrant. How do you play a college basketball game 3 hours that doesn't go to overtime? There's your answer. In any event, UNLV led by 5 with 6 seconds left. They lost the game in regulation. Flagrant foul, 2 shots in the ball, make the free throws, hit the 3. UNLV turns it over. Ball under their own basket for Fresno. Buzzer beater. Drive home safely. 7-0 run in 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Well, put that one on the slate again for worst beats of the entire year.
Absolutely. I mean, how do you get a flagrant up 5 with 6 seconds where it's just... And then they hit the free throws, the 3, and then the turnover. And NC State was up 12 in the second half. They were up 6 with 90 seconds. They were laying 1.5. They didn't score the rest of the game, the final 90 seconds, and won by 1. Incredible. Super Bowl, the biggest betting event of the year. Limits peak. Every half point matters. You're not going to outsmart billion-dollar books or full-time sharps on your own. With the sharp plays, you don't have to. Look for the Mr. Poison tweets leading up to the game. Great connections and insider sources on all sports. Look for the soccer tweets, always the tennis tweets. Free reports, alerts, transparent results since 2011. Trusted by pros, monitored by the books. Sharpplays.com. Stay ahead of the line this Super Bowl. Visit sharpplays.com.
Good tweet here from Josh Herman. You can always tweet the show at VSiN Live and Mitch Moss Radio at Paulie Howard. How about Anthony Davis playing 29 games for the Mavericks since the trade and Luka having 29 games this year alone with 30-plus points?
Oh, man.
Great observation out of him.
Yeah. Yep. Now, ESPN gave the Wizards a C- for the grade. But you are trying to build some big-name players with this young crew, and you're going to get a nice pick. But this is going to be interesting to see how it works out with Trae Young, who's good but can't defend. He can score. And certainly it all comes down to Davis's health, too, which we've talked about ad nauseum here.
Mm-hmm.
But he makes a ton of cash. Okay, so our old friend Christian Fourier, who's been on the show many times, played for the Patriots, WEI Radio, CBS Sportsline, was on with Dustin Sweetelson. And this is interesting about they're winning, but Fourier on the Patriots will lose if May continues to struggle.
I don't know if that's it. I mean, they've been playing I don't know how much they can play the underdog role. I know people are diminishing their wins, especially in the postseason, based on, the offenses that they were playing against and how poorly Drake May played. So I can understand people looking at that. But I would say, listen, it ain't going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination. If Drake May plays the way he did in those 3 postseason games, they are going to lose. Absolutely, because the Seattle Seahawks, with that offense, if they get a short field, if they get an extra possession, they'll make the Patriots pay. That's where I see the biggest difference is that. So, can the Patriots control the game? Can they limit the possessions on offense? Can they continually have long drives, chew up the clock, make the right decisions, not do anything stupid? They'll be in the game. I think the Seahawks can make some mistakes and overcome them. I don't think the Patriots can.
Oh, very good. I agree with that last part. And the other thing, too, they faced in the playoffs was the mistakes and how bad the quarterback play was. And while I give the defense credit, Stidham did not play well, made the key mistake, and C.J. Stroud was an embarrassment.
Oh, absolutely.
How bad he was. And they also did a great job on the Chargers, but the game plan was so bad, they fired Roman after the game.
Well, they had, Herbert had nobody to block for him the entire game. So, by the way, for the record, Drake May in the playoffs so far, 2 games, as we know, with 65-plus yards on the ground. The other game was against Houston. He had 4 carries for 10 yards. But in that game against Houston, he did have 3 touchdowns. He threw an INT, but his QBR was 20.8. I actually thought that was the worst game that he played, in my opinion, despite having only 86 yards against the Broncos, because I thought they'd completely shut it down on offense because they knew that the Broncos with Stidham couldn't move the football on them. So if that game had been tied, for example, I think the game plan and the overall play calling would have been a little bit different down the stretch for the Patriots. But that 28-16 game, that final score was absolutely misleading. And his QBR was 20.8 against the Texans. That's about rock bottom for an MVP candidate who I actually hope he wins the award tomorrow night. I don't think he's going to. I hope he wins it, but he was horrendous against Houston. And that game should have been a different result easily because I think of those 2. He fumbled the ball, 3 times in that game? Mm-hmm. Houston recovered 1. They should have, they were so lucky on the other 2 recoveries, and it was completely balanced out, and then some because of what you said about C.J. Stroud. He was so bad in that game. If Darnold's not that guy, if he's not the guy seeing ghosts and he's fine, then and oh, by the way, Chargers, Houston, Denver, all really good defenses, right? Seahawks, as good as any of them.
That's right. Yeah.
Maybe the Houston defense is the only one that's better.
You were going to say on Flag with Susie's tweet, as Flag had 36 points. And for weeks, we've been talking about the combo, the rebounds and assists, which had been usually 10.5, 11. He had 9 rebounds and 8. What do you have? 9 rebounds, 6 assists last night in the loss.
Right. So I don't think these are available at all in Nevada. Certainly, you can ladder all the combo bets, and that's what she did last night. So Susie laddered PRA on Cooper Flag 45 plus. That was higher than 5-1, and the 50 plus PRA was plus 1160 last night. And this 3-game tear that he is on now is remarkable. Teenager doing this in the NBA.
Yeah.
Some of this stuff's never been done before.
Yeah. Got to think of that comment that guy made a couple months ago. He'd go 6 in this upcoming draft. Come on.
Jamal Mashford said the same thing recently.
Oh, my God. He's a stud.
Double down on it.
Yeah. But it'll be fun from his props moving forward. I don't know how many games they're going to win, and they might trade more people here. But that's something to monitor with. He's going to fill up the stat sheet every single game now.
Well, I also wonder at what point do they actually say, I get it, he's only, 19 years old? At what point will the organization say, yeah, he's had enough? There's no need to play him anymore this year. Like, that's probably going to become a theme with younger players as well. We'll attack it again coming up next year. We'll put a team together and then build around for the future. But he's not. There's no reason to play him more than 30 minutes a game. I'm curious if that's how they're going to approach it. Up next, we're going to catch up with the great Sal Paolantonio. He promised his official prediction on today's show for the Super Bowl. He'll deliver on that promise coming up next here on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.